Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and in my last video where I showed my little incline meter, the numbers weren't visible. They were blurry because I had the camera set too close. So I moved the camera and decided I'd just do a check ride to see if it actually made a difference. And see, we had about 3 days ago, we had a heavy rain all night long, and this was flooded all the way up, and there's still a lot of puddles everywhere. And in order to get where I needed to go, I needed to run through this one puddle, and you're going to see as I go through that puddle that I have to pedal hard because the mud at the bottom of the puddle wants to drag you down. So anyway, so I got up on part of the canal road where I can actually ride, and I painted some little white dots on my incline meter, the 15 degrees each direction, and then one in the center, which is vertical. Now, when I come to this point right here, it's a memorable spot because if you look at the incline meter, I'm sitting at an angle of about 8 degrees. And the first time out on my E-Trike, as I rode along and got to this point, it tried to turn right because it's downhill to the right here and pull the handlebars out of my hands. And I just honestly thought I was going to tip over. And of course, if you look at that gauge, it was only about 8 degrees incline. But it was the first time I'd run into anything quite so steep. And 8 degrees, anywhere around 8 to 10 degrees, is pretty, it's it feels like you're leaning quite a bit. So anyway, so I was just going on my morning exercise ride and doing the checking to see if my numbers were clear on that little incline meter. And then this part here, up at the end of this road, if you've been following my videos, they tunneled underneath of the canal, and they ran a sewer pipe. Now, last summer they buried a sewer pipe all along this road, but they got to this point, and they didn't. There's something that goes underneath, like we'd be sitting on it right here while we're taking the video, something that they have to tunnel underneath. And so they're all set up there to run their machine and do the same thing they did up the other end of the road, or at the end of the road. And you can check some of my videos. Maybe I'll put a link to the one where where they were tunneling underneath. But anyway, they spent an entire week right here at this spot, and it doesn't look like they've made any progress. And they're friendly guys, and I'd ride by and I'd say, well, how's it going? And they would just say fine, or, it's going, or something like that. So I don't know what's going on, but they're not making any progress like I'm sure they intended to. And then further down the road, there's some mud puddles in the road there. So I came over to the side, and these guys parked their vehicles to block the road because when it's not rainy and it's all dusty, the dune buggy guys and the dirt bikers, they ride along here about 50 miles an hour and create all kinds of dust. And of course, those guys put their vehicles there, so they have to go somewhere besides in front of their house there. So anyway, I got up to the paved road, and so we're going to go from this end of the paved road to the other end of the paved road, and then we're going to turn down a dirt road again, which is right here. And this is just on my morning ride, or it's not morning all the time. Anyway, on my exercise ride, I ride this every day. But after the rainstorm, there was this new puddle right there, and I didn't know how the trucks go along there, and then they create great big ruts. And so I'm taking my time and going gentle through that puddle because I don't know where the high spots and the low spots are. So, and that turned out to be not as bad as I expected it to, as usual. So we'll go down here, and then at this point in time, you can see the puddle up there way ahead. And so I go on this road when that's not usable, and this road slants away from this canal. And so the first time I rode on this road, I thought I was going to tip over. And you can see right at this point, it's angled at about 4 or 5 degrees. And then further down here, it even angles more. And it's like, it looks like it's about 8 degrees again. And when I rode along there the first time, I was sure I was going to tip over. But you can see by the white dot at 15 degrees, I had a long ways to tip before I was going to tip over. Anyway, I thought I'd bring you along on this ride because there are some interesting spots that I wanted to show you. And now I know how to set my camera, and so that's what the ride was all about. I want to thank you for watching my video, and God bless.